And still with us in studio, Simcha Rothman, who is a member of the Israeli Parliament for the Religious Zionism Party, and Jeremy Saltan, the Knesset faction director of English operations for Yamina Party. Simcha, your response to the polls we're seeing, which shows that Benjamin Netanyahu, the bloc that supports him, including your party, not breaking to that magic number of 61. Maybe you're skeptical about them, but even you accept them, what do you think you would have to do in an election to get to that number?
First, there is a news flash, because Jeremy also talked about it before. What Jeremy basically said, that if the right-wing parties will have 60 Knesset members, and Yamina will have 4 or 5, doesn't matter.
Right.
That's the polls threshold, around the threshold. Sure. But let's give them 5. They will prefer going to elections and not joining and have 65 right-wing coalition. That's what he says. I think it's terrifying to hear that from a party that calls itself Yamina. They will prefer to go to election or to try to form a government with some refugees from other parties with the Joint Arab List and Ram, and not go to the Likud and religious Zionism and the Haredi parties. I think that's, if I would say so, I would be blamed for defamation. But that's what he said. That's what Yamina said, and that shows us what the distance that Yamina took for the past year from a party that says, I am in the middle, I'm in between, I can go either way, to a party that is full-scale, left-wing, Joint Arab List and terror-supporting party of Ram. That's their party. That's their coalition. I think that's terrifying.
Okay, Jeremy, you can respond to that, but he's also challenging you, saying that even if these polls are accurate, Simcha is saying maybe there's a chance of getting Yamina to join a coalition led by Benjamin Netanyahu.
You know, Kalev, I just find it very rich, because Simcha and his friends were able to bring about this election by teaming up with the Joint List, not Ram, not a party led by an Arab leader who accepts Israel as a Jewish and democratic state. No, including Balad and Ahmed Tibi, in order to go ahead and take Judea and Samaria hostage, hold them ransom, and say, we're going to force you to disperse the Knesset, and if you don't go with our bluff, so 500,000 Israeli citizens will lose their status. And yeah, all of those voters, who a lot of them voted for you and your party, will not be able to even vote in this election.
Lies.
Oh, so those are lies.
Yes.
When you go ahead and you look at what the entire legal establishment has said in terms of the
No one said they couldn't vote. No one said they couldn't vote, and Israeli citizens from the U.S. can vote. So to say that Israeli citizens that lives in Judea and Samaria couldn't vote, it's a lie. You know that, and you said that anyway, but that's okay. We're used to that.
That is not a lie. And having to release thousands of security prisoners, terrorists with blood on their hands, because we will no longer be able to hold them based on the Israeli law that we applied to Judea and Samaria. Okay, you want to have your own version.
But you're not denying what I said. You are saying basically that if we have 60 seats in the Knesset and Yamina has 4, 5, 6, you will go take Israel to a 6th election and not join forces to a right-wing party. That's the way you interpret the polls. If not, say the other way. Say you will go with Netanyahu to a party.
I will say something very clearly. I learned from last time, I'm not going to say what I predict the next government to look like. I think that is a very good thing that everyone should probably adapt from all of the parties.
Okay, gentlemen, I want to just go, because of course this election,
if you want to make promises to your voters, you couldn't be held liable.
The repercussions of these developments will have some impact on, let's say, diplomatic or geopolitical events that will be happening even within the next couple of weeks.